Chairwoman Landrieu and Ranking Member Risch, and members of the committee, I'd like to thank you for your time today. My testimony today will focus on some of the issues that my company has been struggling with while trying to understand the health care law. I want to ensure that my company, Bardenay, is fully compliant with the law while remaining healthy and vibrant. These issues are definition of a full-time employee, 2, employee classifications, and that's full-time, part-time, variable hour, or seasonal, 3, auto-enrollment, and 4, non-discrimination rules. After more than 3 years, there's still a tremendous amount of uncertainty surrounding the laws. This uncertainty has been a key factor in extending the longest time period without expansion in all my years as an independent businessman. Bardenay is operated for the long run. We do not make long-term commitments to unmanageable expenses, and we cannot know how to manage for PPACA until all of its rules are known. While the law's definition of a full-time employee of 30 hours has been published for some time now, how it actually applies to my operation is trickier to calculate. My restaurants are very busy places, and it takes a well-trained staff of restaurant professionals to make them run. We are also very much affected by the seasons. The number of people it takes to run my restaurants in the winter is much lower than in the summer. While we do hire some people to work just through the summer, we have many more that want to work year-round but vary the hours that they work to fit the seasons. This is where the federally defined classifications of full-time, variable hour, and seasonal come into play. These rules will affect our ability to allow our employees to have the variable hour schedules that they find so attractive. The hours they work are often based upon their needs. Maybe they're returning to college. We have a lot of parents who are splitting child care duties. This is the freedom that has caused the number of my employees to decline health insurance because to get it through my company, you have to work a fixed schedule, and that doesn't fit their lifestyle. And in our industry, lifestyle is a critical factor in attracting employees. It's our ability to use the work schedules to determine, our ability to use it when determining work schedules is diminished under the law. With the significant added cost of insurance and penalties for not offering it, we cannot let them inadvertently slip between part-time and full-time. Since many of our employees like to work about 30 hours per week, their schedules will have to be managed very closely. When it comes to auto-enrollment, this is the specific provision that has stopped me from looking at expanding. While I now know that we are exempt from it for now, it is the uncertainty regarding how this rule would be applied, combined with not knowing what a policy is going to cost, that has stopped me from looking into expansion. As an employer, life gets a lot more complex when you pass 50 full-time equivalents in employees. I've discussed this issue with the CEOs of the 3 largest health insurance providers in Idaho, and they have confirmed that you need to be covering at least 400 employees to get the best rates. For now, Bardenay is subject to the requirements to offer coverage under the health care law, but we don't qualify for the best rates, and yet we're too large to take advantage of the exchanges that are being set up. When it comes to the non-discrimination rules, I have to be careful that I do not offer a better policy to my CFO who has an MBA than I do to any other employee. Today's restaurants are very sophisticated businesses, and its employees must have a variety of skill sets for it to succeed. Restaurants are the place where many people learn to work. Our staff varies from young people working their first job to industry veterans with college degrees. I need to ensure that I can retain my highly skilled staff by providing them with the benefits that they expect. To meet the law's requirements, we may end up asking participating employees to contribute financially. The law allows for this and sets out the terms for calculating the maximum employee contribution. The danger is that we need a certain percentage of the eligible employees to participate, or the carrier will decline to bind coverage. In Idaho, that rate is generally 75% to 80% of the eligible people will have to participate. Since the law has passed, Bardenay has thrived, yet we have been conservative in our actions. We have sat on the sidelines and worked on our internal system so that we are ready to grow if that still seems prudent once we know the full impact of the law.
Can you try to wrap up, Mr. Settles?
In closing, I would like to state that I am not against offering health care coverage. We have offered it to our salaried staff since shortly before we opened, and we picked up 100% of the cost. Since the health care law has passed, the cost of that policy has doubled, and it would have gone up higher except for we have allowed the deductible to triple, or actually it's gone up 4-fold. So that kind of price increase is not sustainable. More than 3 years after the law's enactment, we still do not know if it will make it easier for employers like me to cover more employees or not, and we do not know. For those of us with the goal of growing a business, this thing has just gotten much more complex. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Katz.